in your mind, for you and for I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you, I'm messing up my mind.
Episode 43, baby. We're back in action inside the RV. Shout out to everybody listening. We appreciate it, each and every one of you, the insiders listening to this podcast. This is a podcast about entrepreneurship, work ethic, self-development, and becoming the best version of yourself. You're joined by your two oh-so-lovely, gracious, I would say freshly cut. When was the last time you got a haircut? A couple days
ago? A week ago.
Oh, okay.
4 or 5 days ago.
Okay, me too.
That's so fresh.
Relatively fresh. We still look good, though.
Yeah.
You're joined by your two lovely hosts. I'm one of them. My name is Jacob Moore.
I'm the other one. I'm Ryan Ramirez.
Jacob Moore and Ryan Ramirez. We are two bearded men on a mission in the music industry to find success and build our careers. Ryan is a music artist. I am his manager, and we work together along with a couple other team members. And we're going to tell you the things we learn on the way in this podcast. And one thing that I'm learning is that taking action will change your life.
Yeah.
I promise. And dude, this is probably like the 10th episode we had on this. Maybe we could talk about, we'll probably go into some things we haven't mentioned before, but the fundamentals of just executing is so damn important. Let me tell you guys why. Like for the past, I would say since we got back from San Luis Obispo, so what is that, 2 weeks?
Yeah, before Havasu?
Before Havasu.
Yeah.
For the past 2 weeks, I have just been on one, feeling so good mentally, feeling so charged. I actually want to get up in the morning, okay? And I want to take action, and I want to go out and work on my business. My cousin and I just started another business, and now I'm working on that, and I'm still doing all this stuff with Ryan. And I have another thing on my plate, this musical project that I'm playing guitar in, and it's like I have a lot of things on my plate, but it feels good to do that and to take action. Should we stop for a second?
No, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I'll cut it out. But it feels so damn good to take action. And the reason I'm telling you guys this isn't just because, oh, I'm working so hard. Look at Jacob. Jacob's taking so much action. Okay, prior to 2 weeks ago, I was feeling like fucking shit. Okay, you couldn't get me out of bed before 2 p.m. I felt like shit. All I wanted to do was get high and drink and just feel like shit and wallow in my sorrow. And I promise you guys, I promise this, I felt like I was never going to get out of it.
Bro, I was in the same fucking boat.
I felt like I was never going to get out of it. And then me and Ryan drove to San Luis Obispo with my cousin Brett, who, like I said, we're going to have him on here. He's a great business guy, very entrepreneurial, great guy. And he was like, Jacob, he almost just was saying things I already knew, but I needed to hear it again from someone, you know? And he was like, it's those little things, Jacob, you already know. Just write 1 or 2 tasks down. You know, fuck the power list, fuck this and that, whatever. But start with one task, whatever it is. Maybe it's one little thing, getting up and driving to this location. Maybe it's ordering this equipment for your business. Maybe it's writing that song, the first 4 lines of that song, whatever it is. And I really thought about that, and I drove us to San Luis Obispo. So I had a lot of time to really like think about it. So we partied. And I got over that real quick. After like 2 nights in slow, I was so fired up on what Brett had told me, and I even had conversations with you, that we went out and drank. I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. We came back, and dude, I was fired up mentally, emotionally. I was ready to go. But there was still that thing there where I was like, I don't know, you know, I still feel like shit. Am I ever going to get out of this? But I said, fuck it. The next day after we came back, I woke up fresh, and I had a list of like 3 things to do. They were small things. One of them was like, order this piece of equipment off Amazon. That took 10 minutes, right? Because Brett and I are starting this business. It took me 10 minutes to order that thing, but that just like jump-started my motivation, right? And we've talked about this before. I think we may have heard this in an Ed Milet podcast. I forget who said it, but a lot of people think that you need to become motivated in order to take action. But in my experience, I will tell you, when you start to take action, even if you feel like shit, that will spark your motivation.
It's the opposite. Yeah.
Because you know that you are getting things done, and you know that you're capable of accomplishing goals. And every time you accomplish a goal, you can equate that to like when you see something awesome on social media. You know how like scrolling through TikTok, it feels so good, the dopamine, you watch these short form videos. No, when you accomplish a goal, no matter how small or how big or whatever, when you accomplish it, it's that same dopamine rush and you feel so good. And so what I want to tell everyone is that even if you're feeling like shit, even if you feel like you're never going to get out of it, do this for yourself. You owe it to yourself to feel good. I promise you do. Just take a little bit of action. It can be something as small as ordering a little thing or writing up a couple lines for your new song, whatever it is. But I promise that will spark the motivation, and then you'll get into this feedback loop, this cycle where you continue to act. You continue to get motivated, and it compiles. And 2 weeks in, I've been fucking killing it. I feel great. I feel fucking great, and I want you guys to feel great too.
Here's what I realized about once you get into the entrepreneurship, like the success game, quote unquote, like, and you desire like success. Once you feel like start feeling good doing things at any point in your life, that feeling then becomes addictive. And if you stop doing it, then you like if you're not on it like you were before, you're always gonna feel disconnected or sad or not yourself. And I've realized that because like a true winner, like a true winning mentality, they're always going to have that shit in the back of their head no matter what. So like, you know, we're out in San Luis Obispo, right? And sure, like it's fun, cool, whatever, but in the back of my head, I know this was for you too, like you're just like, you have this like sad feeling a little bit in the back of your head because like, fuck, like what am I doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know like I'm a high achiever. Like I know I'm not like everyone in this club right now. Like I'm not one of them. Like I'm not normal like that. Because I want more for my life. And so I think there's always that undertone of in the back of your head. And once you kind of get in the groove of that, like it can start to compile and then you start losing momentum. And then what happened with me, which I think it happened to you too, is like you get to a point where you do that so much, like consistently, that you lose your way. And then you start to think like, I don't even know if I want this anymore because like I can feel myself having a little fun, like taking time off and stuff. But it's like, it's weird because you're doing that, but you're still sad. Like you still don't feel like yourself. Like and then so I realized the only way you can feel aligned and yourself is by killing it.
Yeah.
Is by going hard. Like once you enter the game like that, like there's no going back. Like you're like the rest of your life, you're gonna always have that shit. So it's like it's a blessing and a curse because the blessing part of it is it's gonna push you past the normal level, the average level for the rest of your life. But the curse is you've already felt it. So now nothing is gonna compare to that in your life. So it's tricky, like and I think that's what makes like this journey like lonely, you know. But I think like, you know, finding people who are like minded is like a blessing. Like I think it's a blessing that like I have you, you know what I'm saying, because I'm not like super lonely with it, but it's like in general, like even when we go out and stuff, I feel like mentally like I'm around people, but I feel like alone too because I feel like I'm not connecting with like the normal mindset of like, you know. And so I think like that's the sad part about the journey, the entrepreneurship journey, but that's the part that makes people great, you know, and separates you from the pack.
Yeah, it's like as I get farther along in our journey, the lows, I've said this before too, like the lows almost become even worse because you know what you're capable of. I'm telling you, everyone listening, every time you accomplish a goal, the standard of what you are capable of achieving raises.
Yep.
And you know that it does because you're saying, holy shit, I'm killing it. Look at these things I'm accomplishing. This is so great. So the standard raises. When you continue to hold yourself to that standard, which as we said, continues to go up, you exponentially feel good.
Yeah.
You feel good, but guess what? The high is high and the low is low.
Yeah.
And when you stop keeping those promises you've made to yourself, when you stop doing what you know you're capable of doing and achieving, maybe it's out of laziness, maybe it's out of sadness, maybe it's whatever. The bottom line is when you stop doing that, you're going to feel like shit worse than ever. Now, there's one of two things that can happen. If you're not disciplined and you are weak-minded and you allow your emotions to take over, you can stay in that rut, okay? You can either be that guy or you can be the guy that hates that fucking feeling so much that you just push yourself so fucking hard
to get that taste out of your mouth.
To get that taste out of your mouth and to reach the level at which you know you are capable of operating, performing, and achieving things at. So here's something that I think can really, really help. Now, there's obviously a balance between working hard, working smart, doing things, whatever. But working with Brett recently and just in the last couple months, like I've had a lot of highs and lows. One thing that I've adopted in most scenarios is this. Everybody listen. stop fucking thinking. Stop fucking thinking.
Yeah.
I am a businessman, analytical, numbers minded. Ryan tells me something about a song release. I immediately open a spreadsheet. I got a degree in business. All I think about is numbers and cash flow and all da 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 da. And I'm very, very hyper focused on these little details, which someone needs to be like that, right? You got to have a team member that can be like that. But some of the greatest things I've ever accomplished started with me just saying, stop fucking thinking and just execute and accomplish your goal and adjust along the way, control and learn. Now, like I said, you got to have some thought, in your process, right? You can't just go out and take action. Don't work harder than you necessarily need to.
Yeah.
Don't burn yourself out or anything. But I can tell you, it's little things. The number one place I tell myself don't fucking think is the gym, bro. Like me and my homie Terrence, who's my like main gym partner right now, we'll get into the gym and I'll be like, oh man, like I don't know if I ate enough calories and like, I think I have to do this later. And then, oh wait, tomorrow morning, what if I don't get 8 hours of sleep? And like, that's what I need for muscle growth. It's like, Jacob, lift the fucking weight.
Yeah.
Lift the fucking weight, bro. Stop. You're way too hyper focused, and now you're just wasting time. Because when you sit there and overthink and you get yourself into you start to have analysis paralysis.
Paralysis of analysis.
Paralysis of analysis. You start overthinking shit so much that you can't even act. So I'm a huge proponent of, and so I'm a huge proponent of taking action and just learning as you go. And I think that's a really important part of entrepreneurship. And you can learn more about that in a book called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, which is like a standard book for any person trying to start a business. You got to go. That's basically like the concept of lean startup entrepreneurship is what they teach at Cal State Fullerton, right? And so it has to do with basically creating a product called the MVP, which is the minimum viable product, and you create the basic product or whatever, and you just bring it to market. You don't sit, and then you get feedback from the market, right? So and you don't sit there and product develop for 10 years. No, it's like you're going to make more progress if you just take action, create a product or a service, bring it to market, and then get feedback from the market. Okay, that's from a business standpoint. But you can apply that same workflow and that mentality to things that you do every day. If you want to accomplish something and you are thinking about all the results, the million ways it could go, the only way you're going to get true feedback on the actions that you're taking is if you take those actions.
Yeah.
How are you ever going to know if you're a good songwriter if you never write a fucking song?
Yeah.
How are you going to know if your business is going to do good if you don't start making the product or start making the service, So that's a big thing I've been on lately.
Yeah.
That's really fucking helped me is stop thinking. You only have so much information available. Make the best decisions you can and fucking execute. Fucking take action.
Yeah.
Okay?
I want to talk about too. That's a great point. I want to talk about too about what you said earlier about once you feel those lows, like you fight like hell to get that bitter taste out of your mouth. Because I think that a lot of high achievers, like the greats in whatever field, they felt that feeling so many times that they're like they actually work so hard and become obsessed and workaholics because they hate that feeling so much. And it's less about like just wanting to win and more about like hating to lose. And that's something that it talks about in that Winning book by Tim Grover too. Like he's like high achievers, they hate that losing feeling so much, like 'cause it's so painful that they do anything they can. Like they work overtime, they extend shit, they say no to going out or whatever because they hate that feeling so much and they want to prove to themselves that they don't have to live like that forever. You know what I'm saying? And it's powerful. It's powerful shit. And I think the older you get, like the older I get, the more like this shit starts hitting me. And now it's less about like talking about what you're gonna do and actually doing shit and like actually like owning up to the shit like that you're saying you're doing. You know what I mean? Like we've been doing that for a while, but there's more levels to it. Like there's high achieving levels of like greatness that you aspire to get to, and it's through those lows that really fucking hit you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think that you learn the most when you take action, right? So like when you're at your lowest low, so like to anyone who's listening right now, you feel like shit, you've been getting high every day and you can't stop, bullshitting these things that you need to accomplish, whatever. I want to tell you something. The process of you getting out of that rut is going to be one of the greatest learning and personal development experiences you will ever fucking have.
Yeah.
You're going to learn more about yourself than any book can teach you. You're going to learn more about yourself than any fucking hater can talk shit to you about. You're going to learn more than so-and-so can tell you, because ultimately learning about yourself and your own development, it starts with you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, you can read as many books as you want. I'm a reader. Ryan's a fucking bookworm. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want. You can do whatever you want. But ultimately, to really propel you through that personal development journey, because on a tangent real quick, to take a step back from entrepreneurship, like, let's just take a step back and look at it. Entrepreneurship is a personal development journey. You're trying to create a skill set through your character and through, hard skills and real skills and your personality. You're trying to create this package that you can use yourself, right? To go and start multiple businesses, to win multiple championships, to write multiple platinum songs, to write whatever, to accomplish many goals along the span of your entire life. So sometimes you got to take a step back from like the, me, like, oh, is density artist management going to be this? But I feel like shit. Oh my God. And you got to stop and just say, Jacob, this is a personal development journey. What are you doing right now? What can you do right now to ensure that Jacob Moore is becoming the best fucking version of himself? And I'm telling you, if you're in a rut right now, it starts with you doing everything you can to take action and pull yourself out of that. Because that's been me many times. And this last little fucking rut that I was on over the past 2 months, God, I was doing way more bad shit than I ever did. I was feeling like shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was feeling like shit. I was just making excuses for why I wasn't accomplishing things. I wasn't working, and I love making money. I love working. I love side hustles. I love whatever. And
But you had to go through it.
yeah, and I
know.
had to go through that, and I felt like fucking shit, dude. And I had like days where I just like, fuck, dude. I was like, I'm never gonna move out of my parents' house. I'm 24. I don't even have a fucking girlfriend. Like, I was really feeling
Getting
like
deep,
shit,
yeah.
bro, getting deep. And then I was just like, it starts with me. It starts with me right fucking now. And when we got back from Slow, I made that personal decision to embark on my journey that will push me forward to create the best version of Jacob Moore. And I'm no one special. I'm an average fucking Joe. Anyone can do that, but it starts by taking action. But I just can't fucking stand when people are like, man, this obstacle's in my way. Oh, I feel like shit. What's that? What's the name of that Russ book?
The one he wrote?
Get out of your own way. Get out of your
head.
own fucking way. Or is it get out of your own head?
It's like both or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say it right here.
Yeah.
Get out of your own fucking way. Get out of your own fucking head. Okay. It starts with you, and you can do it. You can. And here's another thing. A lot of people think that they've never accomplished shit. You got to be a little more confident, buddy. Some people might call it cocky, but guess what? When I was feeling like shit, and me and Brett were driving back from Slow, I said, Jacob fucking Moore, dude, you just got a degree, bro. Only 33% of Americans over the age of 25 have a fucking degree, okay? You have started your own management agency, blah, 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 blah. You're doing all this. Some people want to call it cockiness. I don't give a fuck, dude. That's just me being confident in the things that I've accomplished, and I used that confidence to push myself out of this crazy rut.
Bro.
So I don't give a fuck if you call me cocky. I'm fucking killing it now.
Bro,
and I feel great.
One thing I fucking realized, dude, is like, in order to be a high level achiever, you gotta have like a dark like side to you. Like you gotta have a dark side to you, and you can't be afraid to be cocky like that. That's what it really takes to be a bad motherfucker. Like you gotta have that I don't give a fuck muscle.
But the thing is, I wouldn't even call it cockiness. I would just call it knowing that you can fucking do some shit.
Yeah.
I would just call it confidence. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call that cockiness, bro. If I met someone and
Because
you know what I'm saying?
cockiness is like saying I'm better than you. You're not saying that. You're saying like I'm the shit and I'm gonna make shit happen. Like that's
because
confidence,
you know that you have the work ethic, the drive, the confidence to achieve that. Not because you're better than the next guy. Fuck the next guy. That's the biggest thing I've learned in entrepreneurship. I don't give a fuck what the next guy's doing unless I'm doing a competitive analysis.
See where I kind of fucked up is I was like that for a minute, and then I was told that's not you. That's not you. I was told like you don't give that to me. Like you're more humble. Like you're a sweet guy, and that got in my head a little bit because I think I am a sweet guy. Like at heart, but I've realized you could be a sweet guy and be humble outwardly,
Mm-hmm.
but internally you can have that badass like fire in you where you want to fuck somebody up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you want to fuck things up and you want to be a high level achiever and you want to and I think you have to have it. You just have to, because it's so cutthroat. This like, especially the music industry, it's so fucking cutthroat and scary and uncertain. Like the only way to cut through is to have that. Like you've got to have that like internal like darkness to you to do it. But that doesn't mean you can't be like a nice person. And sweet.
Yeah, like
talking to people.
Like when you said that, and you were like, some people told me like,
that's not you.
That's not you, or whatever. It's like, okay, what outwardly do you want me to just be a fucking dickhead to people?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like I can be a nice guy to people.
So my problem was I took that as like, oh, so these thoughts I'm having in my head of like what I just said, the darkness and stuff is like bad, and that's not who I am. So I started shutting it out. But then that's where I started getting insecure, and I started not working as much, and I started like drinking more, and I started like, you know, doing shit. And it's just like it took away my balls. You know what I'm saying? And like, but that needed to happen because now I know not to never let that happen again.
Yeah, for sure.
And for two, I realized that you have to have that shit inside of you to make shit happen. Like you have to, one thing that Tim Grover talks about in the book too, and I think Andy Frisella said this too, was like, he's like, think about like someone like Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett's like a very nice guy outwardly or whatever, but you have to have, like, he has to have that I'm a fuck shit up.
Oh, that dude's got some balls.
Oh, you have to at that level.
Yeah,
you like even Kobe, like, you know, Kobe was a nice guy and shit or whatever.
But
on the court and like in the gym, he was
scary.
A motherfucker, yeah. in his head. You know what I'm saying? That's that competitive like shit, because this game is a competition. You know, maybe not like if I win you lose, but like a competition and like who's like a mental competition.
Yeah.
Like get on my level. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's I'm learning more about this shit every day. It's crazy.
Now I can do a whole episode about what I'm about to say, because I think I've had an unbelievable like self-development journey on this one aspect of entrepreneurship that I think is very important for success. Ed Milet said this in, I think it was in that Tim Grover, or I listened to something on a car ride, I forget. But listen, guys, you can't be afraid to look stupid in front of people, okay? And that's something that I think about, and that's where a lot of my anxiety comes from. And I'm like, oh, I hope this girl doesn't think hope that guy doesn't think I'm, whatever. And then I heard Ed Milet say that in the podcast. It's so crazy. Sometimes you just got to hear people say it.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, the light bulb fucking went out. Oh my God. I heard Ed Milet say that. Don't be afraid to look stupid in front of people. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That is so fucking true. Okay. It's like, I think that is one sign of you truly maturing and becoming an adult. You're not afraid to look stupid. If you're afraid to bring an idea to the table because you're afraid you're going to look stupid, you're going to fail. If you're afraid to say fuck you in the face of naysayers and do things that you think are right, if you're afraid to do that because you're afraid you're going to look stupid, you're going to fail.
You're out of the race.
If you're out of the race. If Ryan was afraid to, you know, show that dark side that he has, that grit that he's got inside of himself, because he didn't want people to think he was stupid. He didn't want people to go, oh, Ryan, the fuck is he doing, bro? Like, that's not you, bro. Oh, if he was afraid of that, he would fucking fail. Because of that, I would fail too. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. But we would not let that happen. But here's the thing. I grew up with so much, like, I'm an extroverted guy, I guess, or I wouldn't even say that. I would say I'm a very social person.
Yeah.
I can talk to people, make conversations, and I have a good time being social. But I grew up with a lot of self-consciousness, like, oh, I don't want this person to think I look stupid. I can't wear these shoes because that's not in right now. And, oh, if this person talks shit on me, my life is over. And then I grew the fuck up, and I realized that the only person that's in control of, you know, most of your life experience is you. Mm-hmm. And if you walk around giving a fuck what people think about you, and you're afraid to even act upon your dreams and chase this success that you want because you're afraid you're going to look stupid, you've already lost.
Yeah.
You've already given yourself the L. So that's the number one thing. Like, here's another thing, okay? Brett and I, me and my cousin Brett started a business selling candles, and we've actually made a good amount of sales, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And so I'm making candles right now, and I was afraid to post it on Instagram because I didn't want people to be like, wait, Jacob was like a music manager and now he's like trying to make candles and this, and I felt like I had to explain myself on social media, and social media could be a bitch, whatever. And I just felt like so stupid, kinda like I didn't want to tell people I was doing it. Like, why are you making candles, Jacob? Because I didn't want them to think I was dumb or what. Like, I don't know. And then I literally woke up and I was like, dude, why the fuck would I even think like that?
Yeah.
Why would I let someone else's opinion, who does not matter, dictate how I'm going to feel and dictate whether I'm going to achieve success or not? That's a fucking load of bullshit. That's a childish mentality. I was thinking like an absolute child. And if you think that way, you're thinking like a child, because you got to understand, when you get into the adult world, money don't discriminate, baby. Okay? Money comes to the people who provide value and earn it. And if you think that you can do that in some sort of way, then the money will reflect that and you will get it.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you want to sit and act like a child and you're afraid of what fucking Joe Schmo down the street's going to think of you, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're just not going to achieve the level of success that you truly can.
And it's like you have like 2 people in mind. Like out of the whole shit.
You got like
There's
two people from high school you're thinking of, and it's like, so that's why I'm saying sometimes you got to zero back in, take a step back and look at reality. Put the business aside for a second, put this aside, and just look in the mirror at yourself. Look at Jacob Moore, and be like, what's inhibiting me? What's stopping me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think it takes pain, like a lot of pain to cut through that though, like because I know what that feels like. It's a strong feeling to care, like what people think, and it's not something you could just like flip off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very strong, like compelling thing. So I feel like it takes like a lot of pain and feeling that a lot to finally like break through it and be like, you know what, nah, fuck it. Like it takes like time. But I think the only way to cut through it like is by taking action and doing it anyways. You know?
I agree.
And then if it was the wrong move, then you learned.
Yeah.
But it was better to take the wrong move and learn than not doing it because you were worried and now you'll never know.
Okay, here's another thing I want to say about that too.
Yeah.
I'm an absolute proponent of working smart.
Yeah.
If you can make $100,000 working 10 hours a week, why would you work 30 hours a week to make $100,000? Right? Don't necessarily work harder than you have to. I get that. But don't let fucking people tell you, don't work too hard, man. Like, don't work that hard.
Yep.
Especially if you're a fucking... And the reason I'm getting so pissed off about this is because I've had people, even like close family members, tell me like, don't work too hard. That is such a fucking loser's mentality. That is a fucking loser's mentality, bro.
You yourself, you know, if you look at yourself honestly, you know how much work it's going to take to get the result you want. You know.
You know.
Yeah, you.
Okay?
Yeah.
You fucking know. And so if someone tells you like, oh, don't work harder than you need to, whatever, like, I understand that, but don't use that as a crutch to stay back like a fucking spider in the web and just kind of like sit there waiting for the flies to come to you. Like, you got to go out and actively get things. So if people are talking shit and they're telling you like, why are you grinding so hard? Or oh, you don't make time for your friends, or any fucking bullshit like that, only you know what it's going to take to achieve what you want, and maybe others who have achieved it.
The times that I've given into that, right? The times that, let's say someone said, oh, like, just come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you grind too hard, whatever. And I'm like, okay, fine. And like, but I knew I should have stayed, and I did it. Every time I went out, the whole time I felt like shit, low key.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, I was like, why did I just do that? But then the next times, like, I keep hoping that feeling would be different and I would enjoy it, but it doesn't happen. So it's like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, that's what sucks about doing this, because you'll never feel like that same rush that like other people have by doing that. But it's like, because you always have shit you feel like you should be doing.
Yeah.
But
Hey, here's another thing, Kay. Look, if you're a young 20-year-old guy like me and Ryan, you're filled with testosterone. Your body was literally made to work and move shit. That's why we have muscles. That's why we have testosterone, and that's why we're all a bunch of fucking freaks wandering around. You know what I'm saying? So don't let some fucker tell you not to work hard. Like, especially if you're a young 20-year-old dude like us, like, go out and fucking get it, dude. Put that energy to good use, because a lot of people want to talk shit on men and young men and how to act and act right and whatever, but it's like, dude, you have a great amount of energy and intellect, and I think testosterone is a great thing when used correctly. And, you know, I get fired up sometimes, and a lot of my male friends guys do too. And I think that we as men, when we put that energy and that testosterone to good use, we change the fucking world.
Yep.
We literally move mountains, and it's fucking crazy. So I want to say that too, especially if you're a young guy who's embarking on your entrepreneurship journey and you got people oh, don't work too hard, man. You're in your 20s, blah, blah, blah. Guess what, fucker? You're only going to get more tired. When I started this, when I was 21, I'm 24 now. When me and Ryan started doing this, I already noticed over those 3 years, I'm more fucking tired every day.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how tired I'm going to be when I'm 30.
Yeah.
So don't let anyone bullshit you like that and tell you, you know. I mean, I think regardless of your age and regardless of whether you're a guy or girl or anything like that, it ultimately comes down to you and the work you want to put in. But I'm just making that point, like, for everybody, okay? Here, I'll change it. For everybody, if you have the fire in you to go out and get something, go fucking do it. Go fucking do it. Don't let anyone tell you not to work too hard. Oh, go enjoy this, go enjoy that. Do what you fucking want to do.
But before you make that decision, you gotta take in all of what comes with it and ask yourself, like, is that really for you?
Yeah.
Because I feel like once you get in it, like, you're in it.
But okay, well, how are you gonna know if you never get in
Well,
it,
based on just like these kind of conversations, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's crazy about, like, when you're naive coming into it. Like, I feel like we're like kind of naive, like,
For sure.
starting. It's just like we're gonna take over the world, and
Yeah.
when I say it, but then it allows you to step into it and do it. But if you hear all the information about it beforehand, about like, if you read that Tim Grover book, Winning, before you start, you're probably gonna look at it and be like, this ain't for me. Like, I want to enjoy my life and have fun and shit, but like it's grueling, you know. It's very grueling.
So are you saying if you read that book and you decide it's not for you, not to do it?
Yeah, but so here's where I was with it, because I had a very low where when I the same phase that you did, like recently, a couple months ago, and that book picked me back up. And the part that struck me so hard was when he was like, you got to realize if this is for you or not. And when I first read it, I said, maybe this isn't for me, because this is very painful. Like, and I want to enjoy my life and whatever. And so I let myself do that, right? I told myself, okay, remember when I was telling you, like, I don't know if I want to be an artist anymore. Like, I literally said that. I was like, I think I'm done. And so I let myself do that for like a week or 2 weeks, however long it was. But I just didn't feel like myself. And I told myself I'm done. Like, I gave up. Like, I think I gave up. And so I told myself I was done, and I felt like absolute shit. But the reason why I felt like absolute shit was because I've already been in it, and I know what the feeling is of achieving things, and I know what the feeling is of me advancing and knowing what I'm capable of, that that it became so addictive that now, like, I can't give up, because it's just like, I just, like, that defines me now, you know? So.
Okay, what I'm saying is, you said people need to evaluate whether this is for them or not before they jump into it.
I believe so.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I think that if you would have read that book like 5 years ago, you would have gotten scared off, but you always had it in you. Like, I think that you understand what I'm saying? I think that you had that fire and that grit in you, and if you would have read that book like 5 years ago before we really started this and you got scared, you never would have unlocked it. I think there are a lot of people that will never unlock it because maybe they'll read that book or hear like what you said and get scared. They're like, I don't want to try it. But if they went and did it for like a year and went hard as fuck, they would pull it out of them.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I agree.
I feel like, and I'm not gonna say most people, but I feel like a lot of people have that untapped like energy in them. That's why I'm like,
that's true, because I feel like people, they get scared like of being obsessed. They get scared like that people are gonna be like, oh, you're too obsessed with what you do and shit. Like, I get it.
Because what I'm saying is, like, we've spoken about this before. Like, I think it's better to just jump in, work, educate yourself, right? Like, sure, read those books, like, arm yourself with knowledge and tools, and really strive to achieve what you want. And then once you achieve it, you can tell yourself, now that I've achieved it, is it really all I wanted? And then from there, you can say, I think I'm gonna pull back now, right? Like, I've told you, like, don't quit being an artist until you achieve that goal of becoming the highest grossing artist of the 2020s.
Yeah.
Because you might achieve it and go, sweet, I want to keep going. Or you might achieve it and go, all right, peace, I'm done with music.
Yeah.
But you'll never know if you never fully fucking
Yeah.
did it.
I agree.
So I feel like there's like untapped potential in people.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that's
Okay.
the right path to be like what you're saying, like start off a little naive.
Yeah.
So
just jump in.
that way you jump in. Yeah, because I feel like I've gotten like way more hardcore like after reading this
Yeah.
kind of shit that I'm just
Yeah.
like, because I know what it feels like. I know that pain.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know.
Yeah, man. But yeah, people, I mean, just take action, get yourself out of that rut. I promise that it's going to be, by taking action and getting yourself out of that rut, it is going to be the greatest personal development experience you will have. Your confidence will boost. You're going to be more smooth with the girls when you go in the club because you're going to have that confidence. You know what I mean?
It's an unbelievable like high that's just not explainable.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a high. It's like you just feel like a different person in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like when you get high smoking, it's like you're high, obviously, whatever.
It feels good, yeah.
It feels good, like on a surface level almost.
Yeah.
But like when you do what you're saying, like take action and like really grow and like create that
That's
for
fulfillment.
yourself. That's just some crazy. Yeah,
That's
that's like
fulfillment
your
right
soul's
there, bro.
high. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have the ability to make yourself feel good simply by setting goals and achieving them, and you can elevate how you feel, why would you not do that?
Yeah.
You can make yourself feel better. I think about that all the time. It's like drugs can make me feel good. Sex can make me feel good. Alcohol is a drug. It can make me feel good. You know, TikTok can make me feel good watching all these reels all day, whatever. But like you have the opportunity to make yourself feel the best by simply achieving what you set out to achieve. And I think that's so powerful. I think that's so powerful, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say the hardcore version too because I feel like going off what we were saying earlier, like I don't think it's for everyone. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think it is. But if you're listening to like these kind of words or like Andy's words or like Tim's words or Ed's or whoever's words, and you get a fire in you, it's for you. But I think some people like when they listen to this kind of thing, like they're not even fazed by it. It's just like, what are they talking about? I'm just gonna keep doing like what I like to do, whatever. But if there's that interest or that desire of like fire, it's like it's probably for you.
Don't let it go.
Don't let it go.
Don't let that fire burn out. I'm telling you guys. Don't let that fire burn out, man. All right, y'all. Hey, we appreciate you guys listening. 43 episodes in at Ryan Ramirez Official on Instagram. Ryan's got a lot of good shit coming. Like I said, we were kind of in a rut. Ryan said that he thinks he didn't want to be an artist. Isn't that fucking crazy?
I was done.
We should have an episode about that.
Yeah.
Let's do an episode about that because I feel like we talk a lot about entrepreneurship and like, but we don't really bring in directly like the artist stuff. We never really talk about like you as an artist, I guess. That would be a really good episode. But the bottom line is that we back in this motherfucker. We back. Sure. And we're going in. We got a good plan and I love it, man. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
For you and for I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I made my signs, but your feelings inside you. I'm messing up my mind.